Good morning, students. Today we discuss about the system development life cycle. Okay, it is a very common term that is generally used in the software development. That is the SDLC. Okay, it is also treated will be system development life cycle. Okay, now first we can use what is the basically software. Okay, basically when we use the software development life cycle, first we have to understand what do you mean by software. Okay, basically software is a collection of programs that is used to perform any specific task. Okay, it may be written in any low level language, high level language, middle level language. Okay, that means we can develop any such type of application that is known as the software. Okay, basically uh, next we define as we know that there are different types of software that will be available. uh, Basically we categorize the software into the three categories: system software, application software, and then utility software. Okay, first we discuss about the what is the system software. As we know that all the operating systems like Windows 2000, Windows XP, Windows 7, Windows 8, okay, all are in the category of the system software. Basically, operating system is just like an interface between the user and hardware. Okay, and all the operating systems, open source, also open source operating system like Linux. Okay, all are in the category of the system software. Okay, next we discuss about the application software. Okay, basically application software is a software that is used to perform any specific task or to solve any problem. Okay, suppose we can use different types of software that are all in the category of application software. Suppose when we download the any software, any app from your Play Store. Okay, that is also a type of application software. Okay, basically we can categorize or we can define the application software into two different ways. Okay, first is the standalone application and second is the networking based application software. Okay, first we discuss about the standalone application software. Basically it is the software that runs on a single system at a time. Okay, basically this type of software is generally used by the small industries or for small applications. Okay, next is the networking based application software. Okay, this is the software that runs on more than one system at a time. Okay, basically some of the software, as we know that suppose for example we can see the billing system that will be used in Big Bazaar. Okay, that is the part of the networking based software. Okay, next is the utility software. It is a very important software because it is the software that is used to prevent our system to the illegal programs, that is the viruses. Okay, basically when we store any data from our system, okay, then it is our responsibility to how to manage or how to secure our data that can be used in the future also. Okay, now we discuss about the system development life cycle. Okay, basically software development life cycle or system development life cycle. Okay, basically systems are designed to solve problems. Okay, one can think of the systems approach as a controlled way of dealing with a problem. Okay, in this vibrant world, the subject system analysis and design primarily deals with the software development activities. Basically, all the activities that has been done in the software development that can be studied in the system analysis and design. Okay, as we know that the any information system basically has three components. Okay, basically hardware, software, and data. And here we discuss about only the software. Okay, basically software basically refers to the programs that manage the hardware and provide the desired results of information. Software consists of system software and application software. Okay, basically system software normally manage the hardware components which can take account of single workstation or a global network, okay, which has control over thousands of clients. Basically, application software contains many programs that carry day-to-day business functions and provide users with the instruction may require. Okay, so basically, this is the use of the software and what are the different types of software that will be used in our general life. Okay, now we discuss about the system development life cycle. Here we some contents that will be stored on the PPT. We can read it easily. What is the meaning of the SDLC? Okay, basically SDLC is also known as the project life cycle. Okay, basically when we develop any type of software, that is also called as a project. Okay, basically SDLC should result in a high quality system that meets customer expectation, reaches completion within time and cost. Okay, evaluation on works effectively and efficiently in the current and planned information technology infrastructure. Okay, SDLC is a conceptual model which includes policies and procedures for developing or altering system throughout their life cycle. Basically, any SDLC having such type of phases that are shown in the PPT, okay, that is started from the planning. Planning is also known as the feasible study, okay. Planning is also known as the feasible study. Then we use the next stage is the system analysis, then system design, so then coding, testing, implementation, and maintenance, okay. So basically, these are the 7 phases that is generally used in the SDLC. Okay. Basically, first we when we use SDLC, okay, when we use SDLC, then it provides some advantages. Okay, it increases the speed of development of the software. It also increases the quality, product quality. Okay, we can also track and control over the project. Okay, we can also improve the client relations. Okay, project risk will be reduced because everything will be done in a technical way, in a particular way. Okay, that means the SDLC follows a sequence. That sequence will be used to make a quality product. Okay, and last is the decreased project management over it. Okay, now we discuss about one by one what are the different stages. Okay, the first stage is the planning. Okay, so first we discuss about the planning. Basically, it is the first stage of the SDLC, that means system development life cycle. Okay, basically, planning is also termed as a feasibility study. Okay, feasibility study is also known as a planning, and planning is also known as the feasible study. Okay, what are work in during the planning? Here we discuss. First, define the problem and the scope of the existing system. Okay. Next is the overview the new system and determine its objective. Next is confirm project feasibility and produce the project schedule. Next, during this phase, threats, constant integration, and security of systems are considered. Okay. Basically, a feasibility report for the entire project is created at the end of this phase. Generally, at the end of the each stage, a documentation has been prepared. Okay, so at the end of the planning phase, we prepared a report that is known as the feasibility report. Okay, next is the analysis. Okay, it is the second phase of analysis. Basically, this phase is totally dedicated to the system analyst. Basically, system analyst is the person that having interpersonal skills that consists management skill, technical skills. Okay, that means it is a, we can say that it is all rounder. Okay, whole of the SDLC activity is surrounding the system analyst. Okay, so first we discuss what is the system analysis and what are the different types of work that have been performed in the system analysis. Okay, basically in this phase we collect, analyze, and validate the information. We define the requirements and prototypes for new system. We can evaluate the alternatives and prioritize the requirements. Okay, examine the information needs of end user and enhances the system goal. Next is a software requirement specification document, which specifies the software, hardware, functional and network requirements of the system is prepared at the end of this page. Okay, basically at the end of the analysis, SRS is prepared. SRS abbreviation is the system requirement specification. Okay, it consists all the requirements of the software. Okay, and after the analysis, okay, after the analysis, we can skip the next stage, that is the design. Okay, basically design is the phase of the SDLC in which we basically we design an application, okay, network, database, user interface, and system interface. Okay, basically it is the transformation of the SRS document into logical structure which contains detailed and complete set of specification that can be implemented in a programming language. Okay, it also creates a contingency, training, maintenance, and operation plan. Okay, it review the proposed design, ensure that the final design must meet the requirement stated in SRS document. Okay, finally at the end of the design stage, finally prepare a design document which will be used during the next phase, that is the coding. Okay, so basically we can say that it is the graphical representation of our system. By using in system design, we can use the different types of tools like DFD, port charts, etc. for designing our system, and we also use the ER diagram that is used to design our database. Okay, basically when we design the system, the two terms are very most important. Two terms, cohesion and coupling. Basically, as we know that system is a group of components or group of modules. Okay, so basically coupling indicates the dependency between modules, and cohesion indicates there is no dependency between modules. So basically every reliable software must be highly cohesive and less coupled. Okay, that means we try to maximize the cohesion and minimize the coupling. Okay, now the next phase is the coding. Basically coding is the phase that is the actual implementation of the software. Okay, here we adopt the programming language, and the programming language is totally depends upon the types of the software. Okay, it may be web-based application, it may be Windows-based application. As we know that there are different types of language that are generally used for the implementation of the web-based application, and some of the language that are used to only used for the develop the Windows-based application. Okay, but some of the language that also supports the both types of the software, that is web-based application and Windows-based application. That language is the programming language Java. Okay, so basically this is the phase that is totally dedicated to the software developers. Okay, what are the dependencies of software coding? Basically it depends upon the software development. What are the requirements of user? That means it may be requirements of the user may be highly security, or it may be web-based application, Windows-based application. Okay, dependency of software coding is also depends upon the cost. Okay, because when we use the open source software, the cost will be low. Okay, when we compromise the for the to the security of the software, then cost will be low. Okay, so basically there are different factors that affects the software coding. Okay, the next phase is the testing. Okay, basically testing is the process where we try to find out an error in a system or application. Okay, basically after the coding, okay, the whole software is go for the testing by the testing team. Basically testing team is a teamwork where we verify the system, verify the software that is prepared according to the SRS or not. Okay, basically there are two terms. One is the verification and second is the validation that is associated with the testing. Okay, verification is the term that is associated with the software testing, and it means that the system is a software is developed according to the SRS or not. If it is developed according to SRS, okay, so that means ki our system is verified. Okay, so second is the validation. If our system if our developed software, okay, your proposed software that does not meet the requirements of the user, okay, that does not meet the requirements of the user, and it is not accepted by the user, okay, so then it is not a validation, okay, it is not a valid software, okay. So basically in a validation we check the customer requirements, and the software meets all the requirements of the customer, okay. This is the testing. Basically, there are various types of testing approaches that will be used in the system testing. That are the system testing, unit testing, alpha testing, okay, beta testing. These are the different types of testing that will be discussed when we start the topic, the system software testing, okay. Now next is the implementation, okay. Basically implementation is it is a stage that is also known as the installation of the system, okay. Basically after the coding, then testing, okay. Basically system testing is a cyclic process, okay, because when first of all the software will go for the alpha testing, then it will be go to the beta testing, and after the successful succession of the beta testing, it goes for the implementation, that means the installation, okay. Now we discuss what are the different types of work that has been used in the implementation of the stage, okay. Basically implementation, the design into basically it is a part where we actually install the system in the client side, okay. It also requires some hardware configuration, and it also requires some training for the customers, okay. Now, the next stage is the maintenance. Basically, maintenance is the very costly stage, because it goes for the long time. Okay, that means year to year it will be extended. Basically, it includes all the activities such as phone support or physical on-site support for users that is required once the system is installed. Okay, it also implement the changes that software might undergo over a period of time, or implement any new requirements after the software is deployed at the consumer location, okay, or customer location. It also includes handling the residual errors and resolve any issues that may exist in the system even after the testing period, okay. Maintenance and support may be needed for a longer time for large system and for a short time for the similar system, okay. So basically these are the activities that has been done in the software maintenance, okay. The last stage is the re-engineering, okay. Basically re-engineering as the approach where we re-innovate our existing system into the new system that is associated with the new technology, okay. This is the part of the re-engineering. Basically there are two types of re-engineering approach. First is the forward re-engineering, and second is the backward re-engineering, okay. Basically, this is the lecture video on SDLC. I hope you understand all the stages of the SDLC. Now we can end the session, and we meet soon in the next lecture. Okay. Thank you.